Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and today I'm going to be talking about an arcade game for a change. And in this sort of retro review, we're going to be looking at Silent Hill, the arcade. Now, this is a arcade game, a shooter, first person obviously, based on the classic horror franchise Silent Hill. Now, it plays a lot like House of the Dead, Time Crisis, those sort of on-rail shooter games, and it was released in Japan in July 2007, and then it came to Europe and Australia in 2008. And I originally saw this probably 10 years plus ago in an arcade, and I think it was in Scarborough, and I saw it and I was like, man, I really need to play that. Because if you don't know, I am a huge Silent Hill fan. I've been a big fan since the first game on the PlayStation, all the way up to the modern games. Admittedly, they're not as good as they used to be, but I'm still a huge fan of the franchise. I love the setting, and I just love the lore and sort of the sort of backstory and everything around it, the history. So I could not wait to finally get hold of this. I've been trying to find it again for years because I didn't get to play it in Scarborough at that time, and I can't remember why. But I was going to go back the next day, and then just things happened, and it just didn't happen. And I've never seen it since. And yeah, there is now a playable PC build of this game. It's not perfect. But this has been made by fans, and like I say, this is what is playing on the screen right now. Now, like you can see, it does have a sort of mouse cursor for your aim, but to be fair, it doesn't detract from the game at all. It's still an absolutely fun, and it plays really fantastically on a computer, like I say, with a mouse just to shoot. And there isn't a reload button; it just auto reloads when you run out of bullets. So it wasn't too bad to play. Now, this game was developed by a branch of Konami's Japanese department in conjunction with a couple of members from Team Silent, and it uses elements from Silent Hill 2, 3, and Silent Hill 4 The Room, and those sort of things include locations, monsters, and some of the music. Now, this never got an official port. It never came to PC, it never came to console or anything like that. And this means that it's like rocking horse poo to find at the moment. It's sort of been lost to the annals of time. You rarely find it in arcades, and now that arcades are slowly on the decline, I think it's kind of one of those things you'll probably never find. So thank God that someone has made an unofficial PC port of it. Now, as you can see from the gameplay, it's a very sort of standard on-rail shooter. It actually plays pretty well, like I say. I mean, if you've played House of the Dead or stuff like that, you'll get the gist of it. It normally uses a light gun. Obviously, I wasn't able to play it with that. And like I say, the story is actually quite interesting. I'll go into that in a bit, but gameplay-wise, it takes about 50 minutes to an hour to sort of complete a playthrough. I was on, I think I died 3 or 4 times on the version I was playing for a continue. And other than that, it's really, really fun. There's multiple routes you can take during the game. Like I say, it'll say, do you want to go left, right, forward? You can pick up different weapons. And there's like collectibles for like coins, gold and silver coins and stuff that increase your score. Now, each level is split into like there's 3 chapters, sort of 3 main levels, and they're split into 3 separate areas. So there's 9 stages overall. Some are longer than the others, and it goes from all sorts of different places. So you get like the general streets of Silent Hill, you get the hospital, you get the prison, a graveyard, the shopping centre, the amusement park. And then it also goes to the spiral staircase from Silent Hill 4, I believe. And yeah, it's not bad. And one thing I do like, I must admit, the best thing I like about this game is it has multiple endings like the actual Silent Hill. So there's a good ending, there's a bad ending, and there is a normal ending, and also a UFO ending. Now, I got the good ending on my playthrough, but I have watched the video for the normal, bad, and UFO ending. the UFO ending is classic sort of Silent Hill. It's a 2D sort of just pictures. It's not actual like a video or anything. And at the end, it shows Robbie Rabbit playing on a NES playing Gradius, which I just thought was just funny and weird. But I love the fact that they've took that from the actual games and put it into the arcade as well, because they didn't have to do that. But it does give you a reason to go back and play multiple times. Like say, if you finish the game and you don't get all the endings, you can go back through, play it a different way, do a few different things. Like I say, the good endings based on saving people and doing a few other little bits and bobs during the gameplay. Now, the plot. So the plot basically is a follow-up to something that was mentioned in, I believe it's Silent Hill 2. So a memo is in Silent Hill 2 in the Toluca prison, and it's about the Little Baroness, which is a steamboat that sank in the Silent Hill lake for unknown reasons. And this basically is the main plot of the game. They're sort of following up on that and what happened to it and stuff like that. So the main characters are Eric and Tina, and their occult club. They head to Silent Hill to investigate the rumours surrounding the town, particularly those concerning the bodies resting on the lake's bottom. Eric's great-grandfather was the captain of the Little Baroness, and he witnessed the tragic murder of Hannah at the hands of her own mother before the ship sank. And Hannah's like the little girl in the game, basically, or her sort of like spiritual connected sort of character, similar to how they've done it in other games. Now, it's nice that they've gone into that and they've sort of expanded upon it. I'll not spoil the story. It's not particularly deep in any way, but it's nice that they've touched on it and they've done something different. But it's funny. I like that it's all voice acted terribly, and I think that adds to it. I mean, some of the lines are absolutely hilarious. Like, you've just been attacked by a ton of like monsters, and they're like, "Let's go back to the motel for a little bit," and just like, and they've just nearly been killed by someone, and like zombie nurses, and they're like, "Now that was the final straw," and stupid stuff. It's just really wooden, really old school, like old PlayStation era dialogue, and I absolutely love it. I laughed a lot, but I was enjoying it. Like I say, the game itself isn't a good Silent Hill game in any sense of the word. Like I say, it's stupidly fast action. A lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, so it starts off in the misty town, like the foggy town, and then a boat horn goes. So instead of the, I'm laughing at it now because it makes me chuckle. But instead of like this, the air raid siren, it's basically a boat going, and then that starts the transformation into the other world. But then obviously when you're in the other world, you come back out and then all the enemies are still there in the normal world. So that confused me a little because I'm sure there's different monsters and stuff in different areas. The character models are not the best quality. They're showing their age. There's obviously there's the nurses, there's dogs, there's some other sort of enemies. There's like leeches, there's flying sort of bat creatures. The bosses are really interesting, though. Like I say, so there's a load of mini bosses. There's like this big flying winged demon. There's Pyramid Head, which I don't think should be in here because he's I hate when they use Pyramid Head for Silent Hill nowadays in everything. It's like, oh, let's just throw Pyramid Head in. Pyramid Head is literally, for Silent Hill 2, it is the embodiment of the guy's sort of like psyche and stuff like that, which I hate that they just shove him in now as just generic character. But he's in there. It's quite a cool fight. You have to shoot him to stop him like hitting you with his sword and stuff. There's this weird, creepy, like doll face thing that climbs on the roof and stuff. That's really creepy, and I think that's a really cool enemy and a really cool boss fight. And then there's like a giant like demon face thing coming out this lake with like giant clawed hands and stuff, which is like a really cool, like the final boss. That's really cool as well. So I highly recommend giving it a play. Like I say, if you're into arcade games, if you're into sort of House of the Dead, you're into on-rail shooters, this isn't a bad game in any sense of the word. It's enjoyable. It's quick-paced. Like I say, you're never bored. There's always action going on. There's always enemies, and like I say, it's decent in that sense. It's not a good Silent Hill game in any sense of the word. Like I say, the plot is laughable but funny, and the dialogue's terrible. The combat and the action is nothing like Silent Hill would be. There's no suspense or anything like you get in Silent Hill, and it doesn't really link to any of the Silent Hill games, bar that it being set in the Silent Hill universe. But I highly, highly recommend playing it. Like I say, I waited like 12 years to play this, and I finally got it, and it was the best hour I've spent in ages playing a game. I'm going to go back and play it again soon. I've just currently got so many games I need to play through for other reviews and videos and stuff like that. But I'm leaving it installed on my computer. I highly recommend you check it out. And yeah, just let me know what you think. If you've been able to play this, have you played this on an original machine? Like I say, do you know where these machines are? Put them in the comments, let people know. Because literally, it's such a fun, stupid game. And like I say, I think it does a justice to the series. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that they were never going to make a Silent Hill arcade game anything other than this. I just wish maybe they'd not use Pyramid Head. Like I say, that's my big downside. And there's a few areas that I like to have seen. Like I'm sure the spiral staircase is from Silent Hill 4, if I remember, and I'm sure that represents the main characters in a mind as well. So I don't know why that's in this. But you know, like I say, that's about it. Like I say, one funny bit of trivia I did find, and I don't know why it's important trivia, but Guy Seehee, the voice actor of Silent Hill's protagonist James Sutherland, had once played the game as well. And like I say, yeah, the little Baroness was first mentioned in Silent Hill 2 in an article found in Toluca Prison, which I think's great. I'm glad that they've just gone and picked that, and they haven't just made up a random story. They've actually gone and took something from the actual canon side of it. Now, if you have played this in arcade, it is two-player as well. Like I say, this isn't just a solo game. You can play this two-player. And the thing that always stood out to me was like the black curtains, like they were all ripped. And I thought that looked ace, and it just always stood out to me. So I'd love to know what you guys thought of it if you've played it. Like I say, if you haven't, there's multiple places to get this from online, and just type in Silent Hill the arcade PC port and you'll find it. But like I say, definitely check it out. If you can, lucky enough to find this somewhere in the world, play it in person, because it's so rare nowadays as from an arcade's perspective. But other than that, yeah, like I say, keep an eye on the channel. We're going to be doing loads more arcade reviews soon. But I just had to do this one first. Like I say, it was absolutely, like, it's been on my bucket list of arcade games I want to play for ages. But that's that for now. Honestly, check out some of the full playthrough videos as well. Like I say, if you can't find a copy online, see if you can find some of the funny playthroughs and just listen to their awesome dialogue. It's great. It just makes me laugh every single time. But yeah, if you want to see more arcade reviews, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're closing in so close to 400 subscribers now, and I've got 5-6 arcade review videos coming soon, on top of all the normal modern game reviews, the podcasts, and the retro reviews that are coming as well. So there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline, especially for arcade fans. But that's it. Enjoy gaming, and I'll see you soon for more videos.